Okay, so we're just doing a bit of fiddling around here. Looking up this coronavirus. Bored, nothing else to do. Come across this little bit on it. Now you can look through this yourself and read down through it, but just for interesting things. Coronavirus first isolated in 1965. Spherical envelope viron, 80 to 160 nanometers in diameter, crown-like appearance, club-shaped, or single-stranded linear segmented positive RNA genome. So that's coronavirus as of 1965. Usually producing a febrile cold in adults, characterized by nasal discharge and malaria. Many may exacerbate respiratory symptoms in asthmatic and chronic pulmonary disease patients implicated in gastroenteritis. Greater occurrence in children, may be associated with pneumonia and pleural reactions, rarely manifest in neurological complaints. Immunity is reinforced knowledge kind of looking thing. Not a whole pile there. Mode of transmission by inhalation of aerosols, respiratory transmission from person to person, indirectly through fomites. Nothing fucking different from the common cold there. Now it says it survives up to 24 hours in metal surfaces at ambient conditions. Don't know about that. So you can just have a look through this yourself. Now, good personal hygiene and frequent hand washing is important. Nothing alarming that stands out there. And this paper is dated from March 2001, so they know about this a long time. This is nothing new. But we will we'll do some further research and we'll see what else is available out there. Okay, so here's one I found. I hit this one by accident. I wasn't going to open this thing. Health and Safety Authority. I wasn't even going to bother because I wasn't expecting a whole pile of anything. It just mainly fucking junk, really, wouldn't it? This crowd is a bit like the RSA, Road Safety Authority, me arse. If they were interested in road safety, they teach people how to drive and they'd fix the fucking roads. But I just had it open. I actually clicked the bloody thing by mistake. But the first lines here really was like getting a slap of a sledgehammer in the face. A novel, new coronavirus that has not previously been seen in humans was identified in December 2019. The virus is called, wait for it, Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. Whoa, SARS. Coronavirus 2. So here's what it's should be listed as. SARS Coronavirus 2. And the disease, now that disease should be in capitals, in red, double underlined, and the disease that it causes is called Coronavirus Disease 2019, COVID-19. So it's not a virus, it's actually a disease. And SARS, now people will tell you some of that is man-made and what have you. I actually went looking, and I'm just go back and look at it now because it just makes it very interesting. Some guy claiming that there was a company in the US had patented this coronavirus, but it didn't even mention coronavirus, but it did mention SARS and I just walked away from it. That just fucking one of these fucking headbangers. But I must go back and have a look at that. It'd be interesting. It's a disease, not a virus. Because if you think about it, viruses, I mean, there's so many viruses out there that kill people. If viruses were that easy spread, think about it this way. I think somebody put this very good in a video recently. 70-80% of us should be HIV positive at this stage. And if you just remember, if you're old enough to remember back 20 years ago or so, when HIV/AIDS started hitting the headlines first, I mean, there was panic and pandemonium, and poor misfortunates that had contracted the virus, they were shunned, and even at times they were fucked out of the house and what have you. And the authorities and the specialists and doctors went all sorts of lengths to explain to us that no, you cannot get it, being around the person. You're not going to pick it up. And that has been well and truly proven since. It's only with the exchange of fluids or injecting the damn thing into yourself, which is where a lot of these so-called viruses come from, because every anti-flu shot or whatever you get, it's supposed to be antivirus. So to be antivirus, they have to give you a virus on it. That's how a lot of these things get spread. But a disease that's dangerous. I was there this morning, probably force a habit. When you're up in the morning, especially this time of the year, we'd be working, we'd be pretty busy now at this stage. You'd be checking the airports, you'd be checking your flight times and stuff like that. And you say, Dublin Airport, lads, the amount of flights that are in and out of that place. And I was looking at some of them. Yeah, there's a whole lot from Europe, from France, from Italy. And I noticed there, because I'd do it a lot of mornings out of habit when I'm waking up and what have you. Well, what the fucking hell are we getting 2 and 3 flights a day from Ethiopia? Eritrea? What the fuck is that all about? But when you have a disease like this on the loose, especially because we're an island, close the fucking door. Close the ports, close the airports. Fine, free it. But close the fucking doors. Shut the places down. Free it, yeah. Then the country, we could work away within the country. Well, the very most of us could anyhow. But everybody will leave these open. You're letting it open to this fucking thing here. And I mean, that disease is going to be stuck under mats, behind fucking door corners, behind curtains, whatever, for God knows how fucking long. It's criminal. I mean, they're obviously aware of this. Now, they always talk about the coronavirus. The coronavirus, that's all you fucking hear. COVID-19. They don't mention the disease, but they have it written down here. But for some reason, scumbags always, when they're up to bad shit, they do that in one way or another. They let it out. It's a sort of an idea they have, the thing coming back and biting them. If you're doing bad stuff can come back at you. Karma, basically, they believe in that kind of shit. This is, like I said, this hit me now like a flippin' sledgehammer to see it. Yeah, this is serious. I was wondering how the bloody hell are nursing homes where they're not allowing families in or anything. Of course, this could be a lot of it, because you don't know what's going on in those places. You don't know what they're injecting into people as well. And of course, another thing that's going to drive this whole thing south in a big way is this 5G. And I've noticed that being out and about. I know we're not supposed to be out and about, but Jesus, like you have to do stuff. But the amount of them that, even out here in the country, like, of these 5G things going up, it's like the end of the fucking world was coming or something. They're flat out at the thing. But that 5G is the frequencies, right? It's up in the 60 gigahertz band. This is seriously high. I mean, this is so high, like, I mean, it'll penetrate anything for you. Concrete, anything. And at that, up in that 60 gigahertz is where the resonance frequency of oxygen is, and that's the dangerous one. Now, when oxygen resonates, it's like most things when they resonate. The electrons, when you go down to the atomic size, the electrons, they pole shift. They have a north and a south pole, and everything works nicely, be it a bit of steel, water, gases, whatever. But when they resonate, now you have a system in your lungs that extracts oxygen from the air you breathe. Lets the rest of the stuff out, and the bad stuff that it drags back after it. It's all exhaled and takes the oxygen in, mixes that oxygen into your blood. Now, it's going to want to reject that oxygen because it doesn't recognize it as oxygen. And even any bit that it takes in, it's going to damage. Like I said, those electrons, they're bouncing all over the place and they're going haywire. There's going to be ripping and roaring and tearing. And that's going to kill you. That thing is absolutely lethal. And actually, if you look at the frequencies that are used by police forces worldwide, again, that is running in a very dangerous field as well, but they don't tell them or nobody. Well, I think they're made aware of it, but don't ask me, I can't explain it. They don't, even they've been advised like that these big contraptions up on their guard stations are you know, lethal. Go down there with a meat and the thing will be hopping off the wall. But this is this is a disease, and like I said, that can linger anywhere. Diseases can survive long periods of time. They can survive hot and cold. A virus, most viruses, once you get up to 70-80 degrees, poof. Likewise, go down into cold temperatures, poof, gone. And they are not, a virus it does not spread like a disease. That's dangerous stuff. Now, I'm just thinking, come across a thing the other day, some guy said that this thing had been patented by an American company, and he gave the patent number. I have it written down there somewhere. I must go back and have a look at it because this is interesting. And I just read through it and I said, this is pure bullshit, because there was no mention of coronavirus, but it did mention SARS and various things in SARS. So I must go back and have a look at that. See, is this SARS too? Yeah, this is crazy. You know, you can go down through the page, you can read through that there at your leisure. There is diddly squat in it, really. Advice for employers, yeah, close the fucking door and send us all home. Employers and employees in relation to working from home, and how the likes of me could work from home. Good. How to drive a busload of tourists around at home, yeah, it'd be interesting. And then they have all these old fucking posters. Public information poster English, poster Irish. Screen poster. Fucking hell. At the airports, close the fucking things down. By all means, keep freight going. But, you know, this thing is going to go on for months, lads. This is not going to be over. Somebody was telling me, by the end of May now we'll be grand, we'll be back again. Not a chance. That disease is already in the country. It's going to be stuck everywhere. So I'm going to go further afield and look at a few more things. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so I eventually found this US patent, and funny enough, the name, severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. It's the coronavirus. I have an old medical book there. Well, it's something I think the children were using going to school, and there's a lot of illnesses and diseases and all that kind of crap in it. The coronavirus is known as the common cold, and that's a book dating back to the 1980s sometime. But here we are. There is the patent number. There's some interesting, so we'll just go. The primary identifier, there's your US patent. The submission date, 16th. Why the Americans, they do everything arseways. Yeah, 16th of November 2006. Patent was issued in that thing. That's the patent submission. Patent title, severe acute SARS coronavirus. Okay, patent abstract. You can read that sort of thing at your own time, just freeze the page, whatever. That's the patent identifier. Now this is where it gets interesting. Here is what we're looking at. This is the patent here. But obviously these patents here are linked to it, so I'm going to have to go looking at those things, and of course there's a whole pile more down here. I'm going to have to go looking at these in a bit more detail. This is the company that Chiron, or whatever you want to call it, Corporation USA, and the patent inventors. There's a whole pile of these here. Now, this John Donnelly, you got to look that guy up. This Gregerson, a German, you got to look him. And this guy, Klink, have a look at that name. Now, this John M. Polo, I've come across that name before somewhere. Must look that up again. And there's another one down here. Oh yeah, Conrad Stadler, I've come across that name before. And Nicholas Valentine. I've come across that name before. And look, Amy Weiner. Interesting. So I'm just going to keep this short, but there's your patent for the whole thing. And now if you want to go down to the chemicals, 361 pages, alright. Substances, 587 pages. Here are all your bloody numbers there on them as well. Data source, of course, IBM. Did IBM supply the gas for the gas chambers in Germany during the war, I think? Oh no, they supplied the not the gas, but the freaking computers of the day. Alright, yeah, could be stuck on anything. So now there's a whole pile of source information down here you can get as well. I did a small bit of clicking through that, and there's a pile of fucking stuff. You'd spend hours digging. What a lot of these things do is they bury a pile of stuff deep. I thought it was interesting that the CDC has these warnings and information things, and click here and we'll tell you all about what you need to do about coronavirus. It's not a virus. It's a SARS disease. So I'll keep it short because this thing is very long at this stage. And I'll do more. Probably do another video. I'll go rooting through this stuff anyhow, and if I find anything interesting I'll make a video on it.